Hey friend, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for jumping on my channel and joining me for a class today. Now I have got a short little class dedicated to our feet and our ankles. Now that part of the body does so much work for us and often it's left forgotten. So this short 10-minute video is all about showing some love and attention to our feet, to our ankles, to help with our balance. Good things all around. You can do this on the mat with me, like I'm about to do, but if you want to, you can also be in a chair for most of it. We end standing just for a little bit of time, but most of this can be done either on the floor or even in an office chair. If you happen to be, sitting at an office, you could do that too. Anywho, roll out your mat or find a seat, and let's get started. Okay, so we are starting in a seat, and a lot of what we're about to do, you could either be on the floor like I am, but if you're not in the mood to sit on the floor, a lot of this can be done in a chair very easily. There's not a huge difference, but just so you know, you can do what works best for your hips, your body, where you happen to be at today. But if we are on the floor like I am, I want you to lean back. If you're in a chair, you can sit upright and do this. We're just going to lean back in a nice gentle spot, so whatever feels better for your wrist is perfectly fine. And I want you just to start by flexing and pressing the feet down. Just kind of lifting the toes up, keeping the heels connected to the floor the whole time. As you lift and lower your feet, I simply want you to pay attention to the direction that your toes are going. And by that I mean, when you lift them up, do they kind of wing off to the side? Do they kind of touch each other, or are they going straight up towards your knees and then back down? Now, eventually, I'd like you to think of lifting them straight up to your knees and then pressing them down, even if they kind of went off to one side when you initially started. Not the end of the world. So just kind of waking up those ankles. Now from here, lift the ankles up. Almost think about trying to bring your toes to touch your knees. You're trying to flex them that much. And I want you to pretend like you're now sitting in a little car and you've got the pedals underneath both of your feet. And it's hard to press the pedal down. Just with our right foot, I want you to reach the ball of your foot into that pedal and then slowly press it all the way down and let those toes be the last thing that touch the ground. And now lift up the toes if you can and slowly bring that foot up. Same thing other side. I'm pressing down into that imaginary pedal. I'm going to touch my foot to the floor and then let my toes release. And then lift and pull it up. We're going to go back and forth like that, slow and steady. Now, if you don't have as much range of motion in your toes like I do, that's okay. You don't have to do it quite perfectly like that, but I just want us to move slowly through the whole foot rather than just slamming that foot down and up. Does that make sense? I hope so. So keep going at your own pace. Remember, you can always adjust any little thing about this. If it doesn't feel comfortable to sit like I'm sitting, maybe again, try sitting in a chair like I suggested. Maybe you just want to move your upper body in some other way. That's okay. This is about our low body right now. So if something's not feeling oh so grand, that's totally fine. Now, eventually, I want us to do both feet at the same time. So think about pressing both of those feet down, slowly, 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 toes release. Now, press the whole foot into the ground, and can we just lift the toes up and then set them down? Just lift the toes up and set them down. And even if your toes don't actually lift up, you're just thinking about activating all those muscles that would lift the toes up, that's still okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. Last one, lift those toes up and then pull the feet all the way up. We're going to extend our legs out in front of us. If there's a bend in your knee, that's fine. If you want to come up to that chair because this is not a comfortable position, that's okay too. But with that same feeling, I want us to flex and point the toes. Now we're going to have more range of motion because we don't have the floor in our way. So you're going to point through the whole of the foot, point those toes down, and then flex the toes and pull them up. Reach through that imaginary pedal, point the toes down, and then flex, pull them up at your own pace. And if it feels better to go one foot at a time, you could do that too. Sometimes thinking about both feet is just too much, and that's okay. No hurry, no rush whatsoever. Take all the time in the world you need. Back and forth, kind of pressing them away and then pulling them back. Pressing them away and pulling them back. You got this. If it feels better to lean back still even here, that's okay. Just do whatever works best for you. And This next time, I want you to flex that foot hold. Think of pressing or kind of pulling that foot back, and do lean back again, and I just want us to circle the foot around, getting some mobility in that ankle. Now I'm keeping my left foot pointed, but if it feels better just to soften it, that's okay, no biggie. And then reverse other direction, circle it around. And then point that toe, flex the other, and go ahead and circle that other foot around. Give it some love, some attention. No hurry, no rush. Reverse other direction. Bend the knees again, and let's windshield wiper our knees, not our heels. Just giving our hips a little bit of love, even though this is definitely about our ankles. That doesn't mean we can't give the rest of our legs some attention too. Because from here, I want you to extend your right leg out and cross your left over your right. Now, do you see that my foot is above or below my knee? I don't want us to put pressure directly on that knee. So whatever feels better for your body, but with our foot opened out to the side, or our knee opened out to the side, I want you to flex and point right here. You might get a little bit more range of motion because now we don't have any kind of thing in our way. No floor, no mat. And then point the toe again and circle it around right here. And you could easily do this sitting in a chair too. That feels really nice if I've been in a chair all day. Reverse, doing a little figure 4 in my desk chair. I do that all the time. And then actively flex that foot. See if we can sit up tall and straight, and maybe even take your hand and kind of press it in. You might use the opposite hand to get a little deeper stretch, or maybe that first hand feels better for you. But see if you can sit up tall and straight right here. And now it might look like I'm pressing on that leg, but I'm certainly not. My hand is just relaxing right there. We're not trying to shove our knee in any one direction right here. And then I even like to use my hand to circle my foot around, giving that ankle even more attention. And then let that go, release that foot. And then same thing, other side. And you might notice this side, you want to have that foot closer to your ankle or closer to your hip. Remember, both sides of our body are so different, so there's no hurry there. But go ahead and flex and point the foot a little bit. It doesn't have to be that perfectly kind of move through the pedal motion you're talking about. I just want you to find some mobility in that foot, that ankle. And then circle it around. Circle into the other direction. And then again, if you want to press your hand into it to give it a little more active attention, a little more active stretch, using your own strength of your arm to take that a little bit deeper through the ball of your foot, that can feel really nice. And then maybe you want to actively circle it around. Kind of, when I do this, I'm using my hand to circle. I'm trying to relax all the muscles in that foot and that ankle. I'm really trying to just give it some attention in that way. Reverse other direction. And then from here, go ahead and come all the way up to standing. Now, standing up, we might want to be near a wall or a chair, something to hold on to help with that balance. Don't feel like you have to be in the center of the room like I am if that doesn't work for you. Hands can be on your hips if we are in the center of the room, or go ahead and grab onto something, but lightly bend both of your knees. Now, if you've done any other ankle videos with me, you probably know that I do talk quite a bit about making sure our knees and toes are going in the same direction. Right now, my toes and knees are pointing straight forward and they're in line with my hips. They aren't together, they aren't really wide. Right underneath our hips is what we're going for. From here, again, imagine that you're in a car, that we've got pedals underneath our feet, and now you want to lift up your heel from the pedal and then just press the pedal down. Lift the heel up and then press it down. Up and down a couple of times. Still giving that attention to our ankle that doesn't always get so much. It's good to pay attention down there. Our feet, our ankle do so much work for us all day. Who wouldn't want to, show it a little extra love? Switch to the other side, up and down. Slow and steady, no hurry. And then set that heel down, just lift the right foot up and stay. Now I like to kind of play with where my heel goes. Sometimes it feels nice to kind of rock it out. I'm not putting any weight in that ankle if I am rocking it out to the side. All of my weight is in my standing supporting side, but it can feel nice to kind of stretch along the outside of that foot with my heel up. And then point your toe, and I want you to circle the ankle around. And if we're wobbling a little, that's okay. Reverse other direction. Lift that heel up, slowly set that heel back down, lift the other side up. Now again, all my weight is now in my standing right side. No weight is there, just the tip of my toe is touching for balance as I rock my heel side to side. Ah, that feels a little extra nice on this side. You'll notice that one side usually is calling for some movement more than the other. That's totally normal. We do a lot of habits daily without thinking about it. Maybe you actively kind of rock your weight to one side of your foot, and these little things can really add up. And then eventually, let's just start those rolls, those great big circles right there. Circle it in the other direction. And then set that heel down. Now I do want you to walk your feet in, zip up. It's almost like you've got a really tight pencil skirt on, or for my friends that don't know what it's like to wear a pencil skirt, a great big rubber band around your outer thighs. Bend your knees. I'm gonna turn this way so you can see me just a little bit better, but I just want us to pedal through each of our feet. Now pay attention to the fact that my shoulder, my head, I'm not bobbing up and down as I do this. It's just my heel lifting and lowering while my upper body stays perfectly still. Now it might be enough to go slow like this, but if you want to crank it up a notch, you might pedal through your feet a little bit more. Now this does get a little bit into our upper body, working out not just our ankles, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And then set both heels down, seal those inner thighs together, pull your belly button up and in, and a couple of times, can we lift both heels up and set both heels down? Now again, if you need a hand on something to help you there, that's okay. If you're in the middle of the room, it might feel better to take your hands out to the side, but trying to lift and lower the heels a little, getting a stretch to the bottom of those feet can feel really nice. Excellent job. Once or twice more. Last one up. Set those heels down. Relax. And give yourself a great big pat on the back. I hope you enjoyed that really short video dedicated to our ankle, our foot, something that we all could use a little more attention and love in. I hope you enjoyed class, and I can't wait to see you again.